Welcome everybody to the Alpha Trades crypto market analysis. Today is Wednesday, October 20th. We are going to be discussing Bitcoin ETF, DeFi season 2.0, Bitcoin dominance rising and how that's going to affect altcoins and what altcoins I am focusing on for the remainder of the year. As we head into Q4, there are going to be some dynamic shifts in the market. I'm going to be talking about those and how I believe that there is a way to position yourself for more upside within the altcoin space and also Bitcoin as well. And I'm going to show y'all what altcoins that I will be paying attention to in this DeFi season 2.0. I'll also share with y'all the 5K account challenge that we have in our private Discord community right here, how that challenge is going. And we will talk about other things related to the market and what I believe is going to happen over the next few days and few weeks. So let's get started. First things first, hit the thumbs up if you do enjoy our content. It really helps us to get noticed, to get recognized within the community, within the space. And I've been doing these videos for about 4 years, and we've really never asked people for sponsorships. We've never begged people for partnerships or coming onto our channel. We've been doing this solo through the bull market in 2017, through the bear markets of 2018 and 19, and once again now in the bull market of 2020 and 21. If you don't believe me, just check out our YouTube videos. You will see we have tenure in this space. While most people may have just come up over the last year and a half, we've been doing this for almost 4.5 years. All right, so once again, hit the thumbs up. Let's get started. All right, if you want to sign up for our Advantage membership, which is you get access to all these locked channels right here, you can go to our website, thealphatrades.com, hit the products page. Only $97 per month will get you access to our private Discord community where we talk about the 5K challenge. Okay, the 5K challenge is something that I started about a year ago now, December 30th, 2020. And I started off with $5,000. And I told my Advantage members, my private members, that we are going to make videos on this challenge. And I will show you guys how I grow this challenge account on a day-to-day basis, and what trades I take, how I take them, how I put my stops, where do I take profit, how do I size up my positions. All that stuff is detailed in every single one of these videos. And if you scroll down, you'll see I have probably over 100 plus videos, 133 videos so far. And as of just yesterday, we sit at the account at $31,000. That's almost a 6x from where we started at the beginning of the year. Okay. Now you could probably say, hey, well, why didn't you just buy Solana or something and just hold on to that? Well, if I knew what the future was going to be like 10 months ago, right, we would have all done the right things, but that's not the point. We make decisions on a day-to-day basis in the market with the information that we're given on that particular day. And then we project out forward to figure out what could potentially go right, what could go wrong, and we make our bets accordingly. So far, I'm pretty happy with our challenge till date. 5,000 to 31,000 is actually a pretty darn big deal. At least for me, it is. Okay. So if you guys are interested in looking at that challenge and wanting to see how I create these videos, once again, you can go to our website, thealphatrades.com, hit the products page, and that 5K challenge is actually included with your Advantage membership. Okay. So here's a day in the market of how I go about analyzing the market for my Advantage members, my paying members. Okay. So first things first, what we're going to start off with is the Bitcoin ETF, right? We know very well that the ETF, the ProShares ETF, which is BITO, that's the ticker, it closed up on the day yesterday. Okay. So very good sign that there's interest in the ETF, good volume went in. It didn't seem like it was kind of a sell the news kind of event, right? Last time we had the Coinbase listing, it was literally the top right here in April earlier this year, right? Coinbase got listed on the stock market and then prices just seemed to collapse right after. Not saying that Coinbase made the market crash, but it seems like some of these things happen in peak euphoria movements, right? ETF in 2017, if some of y'all have been around back here, the CME futures ETF actually launched somewhere around 14th or 15th of December, if I'm not mistaken, in 2017. And then obviously proceeded with a huge downfall in the market, for several months, right? And that was basically the crash that took us sideways for almost 3 years. And now it looks like, finally Bitcoin is once again breaking out. Yesterday, we printed the highest daily close ever in Bitcoin's history right here. Even a few days back, we closed a weekly candle right here, which was the highest weekly close ever. So we've done some substantial movement, some substantial progress over the last several months in terms of fixing this sell-off right here, regaining buyers, regaining momentum, and now starting our leg up in the market. I've already told you all that my belief for this current cycle for BTC is somewhere up here, like I think conservatively 120 to 130 is where I would ideally see BTC heading up towards. One of the ways I came up with that was simply just near double the previous high, which is around $65,000. And the other way is if you actually look at the fibs, okay, so if we throw on some fibs right here, I put it anywhere between the 2.0 and the 3.0 pocket, okay? So this is a pretty important pocket because on fifth waves for BTC, they're pretty violent. But if the third waves have been massive like this for Bitcoin, the fifth wave is actually not that big, okay? Now, it could also be possible that maybe this is a larger, maybe this is a larger, 1, and then we have a 2 going to 2022. And then we have a massive 3 headed into 2023 or 2024. And then we head up towards 190, 200, 250K, right? But point is, right now, my analysis has pointed for Bitcoin towards this 120 to 130 area. We'll see when we get there, right? How we feel. First, let's even break past 100,000. Many people have asked me, where do I think BTC is headed by the end of the year? And, how high do I think Bitcoin could head by the end of the year? Well, I personally don't think we're going to break 6 figures by the end of this year. But I think beginning of next year, I think is more than possible. Okay. I think by the time we get to the end of the year, we're probably going to be somewhere between 75 to 85K. That's what I would figure, ballpark. Just because October has been a very violent movement to the upside. I expect probably the rest of October to be a little calm. I wouldn't even be surprised if we get a retrace back towards like 50 to 51K and then start our leg back up. And the reason I say 50 or 51K is because there's some key levels within this area, this little pocket that has been untested, right? And Bitcoin is a very, very good asset at retesting levels like that on the way down and then, starting its next leg back up. Other way you could look at it, if you're a moving average trader, right? You can simply do this, put on the 50-day moving average. For the most part, BTC in bull markets has been very, very respectful of the 50-day moving average. And you can see after this touch, we are very, very far extended past the 50-day moving average, which once again currently sits right around $50,000. So like I said, that 50, 51, 52 pocket, if we do come down, I expect to land somewhere around here. In which case, by the way, I see a tremendous buying opportunity, okay? Now, going off this, right, we have to build off the idea that, is the ETF priced in? Well, it depends what you mean priced in. Near term, probably, right? Near term, you're going to see some upside movement. But once again, I do think that we're going to come down to 50, 51, 52 area. But does that mean that the market is going to quote unquote crash? Not really, right? That just means that we're due for a pullback. Things cannot go straight up forever, just like they cannot go straight down forever. So we know that if we do have a pullback, that could be an incredible buying opportunity. And I believe it will do 2 things in the market. Number one of my larger thesis in the market is that we need to pay attention to Bitcoin dominance always, Okay. Bitcoin dominance is a very big part of our crypto culture, if you're not aware of it. Aside from culture, it has a statistically really good chance that when Bitcoin dominance starts trending up and BTC price starts trending up, what happens? Well, majority of altcoins generally don't perform as well. Here's a perfect example of comparing altcoins from October, the 1st of October, till now. This flashing black line right here is BTC. These are all the altcoins, and this is Axie. Okay, you can see really the only altcoin so far that's outperforming BTC is Axie Infinity, and only because at the beginning of the month, Axie got this huge pop, and it's actually been floating sideways since. BTC, on the other hand, if you look carefully, it's been moving up like this, right? Slowly but surely, it's been moving up. But more importantly, it is outperforming the rest of the pack of altcoins. Every single DeFi, every single traditional altcoin, every single layer 1, layer 2, DeFi, DEX, everything is outperforming everything. So this is once again a good example of how dominance rising and Bitcoin prices rising is not a good sign for altcoins. So this is why within our Advantage community, I have warned our members numerous times that you do not want to be in levered trades in altcoins. Even from the spot perspective, if you don't want to be in the market, it's okay. You can hang on to BTC and more than likely it will outperform your altcoin, okay? But here's my second, level of thesis, okay? So this is where we start getting into the conversation of DeFi 2.0, okay? DeFi 2.0, in my opinion, is going to consist of the coins that are already kind of pumped, which are layer ones, right? You guys know very well. Layer ones are Solana, layer ones are Luna, ADA, AVAX, Rune, Polkadot, and then FTM, right? These are the top tier layer ones. Obviously, Solana and Luna and AVAX and FTM, they're the cream of the crop. And then AVAX and all this other stuff is, below that, right? But if we look at these L1s, I believe that they're probably due for another move to the upside, okay? So that's the first probable pick for DeFi season 2.0. You may think that, well, hey, they've already gone up so much. Well, trust me, when there's momentum in the market and there's a strong bid in the market for something, pay attention and don't try to outsmart it, okay? Sometimes the market will give you tremendous opportunities where it will make things so clear that you need to buy this, but people ignore that because they think it's too good to be true, or they want to chase the laggard. More often than not, the market is very good at showing you what it's trying to bid up. And if you don't pay attention and you don't have your ears to the ground, you will miss that and you'll chase the laggard, and your laggard will underperform the leaders. That's just how it is. Okay. So L1s are probably going to be the top tier picks. All right. And number two, this is where things get a little bit interesting. Now we have to go back, first of all, to last year when our community identified in October and August 2020 how NFTs are going to be the big thing for 2020 and 2021. Okay. And you can read this report on Theta. If you're not aware of Theta, right? Theta is this altcoin, which is actually in the NFT space. It's actually in the NFT and gaming space. But Theta gained sort of notoriety, once it started to just rip. Like here's where we dropped the report right here in October 2020, right? Theta was trading at about 60, 67 cents. Now it's trading at 10x that, right? And there's a reason for that, is because Theta was able to identify for us, and we identified Theta as one of the core sectors within crypto, which is NFTs, that are going to break out by the end of 2020 and 2021. And breakout it did, right? I mean, it was just a tremendous movement, okay? The reason I mentioned that is because, in my opinion, our team, our community within the Alpha Trades community, right? This Discord community that you see right here, we are very good at identifying the next generation trends. We were able to identify Solana at the beginning of the year. We were able to identify AVAX and some of the farming opportunities well before the whole market was saturated. We were able to identify many things within the DEX space, okay? Now, what we are trying to identify is what are the next gen DeFi season 2.0 altcoins. And I believe the first one that we wrote about is in July 22nd, earlier this year, which is Olympus DAO, right? OHM. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. People call them OMIs or whatever, right? We believe Olympus DAO and DAOs in general are probably going to be the it thing headed into Q4, maybe even early 2022. One of the reasons why is because there's a short-term memory in crypto of how DAOs in 2016 were probably the worst bet because, I think one of the Ethereum DAOs completely collapsed, lost a ton of money, and DAOs were kind of forbidden for several years. But it looks like DAOs themselves have rebranded. They've associated themselves into the DeFi niche quite successfully, I would say. And now you're getting a resurgence of these DAOs. Olympus DAO is one, and Curve Finance, which is also a DAO technically, is another one. Okay, so these two we've written about, both in July, right? July 22nd and Curve July 1st. One of the reasons we believe in these two is because I don't think that the market right now has bidded up these as much as we think our community thinks that they're going to be valuable. Okay, let's look at some charts for Olympus DAO and Curve. Okay, so here's Olympus DAO, right? OHM currently sits at about $894. Sometime in July when we started talking about this, let me see what the price was. Let's go to year to date. We started talking about Olympus DAO somewhere around July, right? Right around here. That time it was around $400 and some change, right? So now it's already doubled that. But the upside to Olympus DAO, based on market cap, based on the ability for its ceiling, I would probably say it's another 5x to 10x from here. I know that sounds extreme, but I really think that this thing can really explode. And we've done deep dives on Olympus DAO within our article. You can find this on alphatrades.medium.com. You can read about it, do your own due diligence. Again, not financial advice, not telling you to buy. This is not a guaranteed 10x, okay? But this is just my thoughts on Olympus DAO. The other one is Curve, right? Same thing, okay? Curve is very, very successful in the DeFi space, also built like a DAO. I believe that Curve is going to be another successful asset, probably another, 7 to 10x from here, okay? These are kind of my picks, as we head into the DeFi season 2.0. And then of course, like I said, Solana, top tier pick. Time is another one, right? I know you guys have been talking about Time, which is, let's go to CoinGecko. I think it's called Wonderland or something. Let's go to Wonderland, right? See this one right here, okay? I briefly mentioned this asset, I don't know, maybe like a couple of weeks ago, but after reading about it a little bit more within the AVAX ecosystem, it is quite a phenomenal asset, okay? Same thing with Trader Joe, right? We had talked about Trader Joe in our community way early on in August or something, okay? This is like, AVAX was just being built up and the hype was building, and I launched a video on AVAX on August 21st, a couple of months ago, right? And then subsequently, we had the Joe token, which had barely, 46 million in liquidity, 79% APR. It was priced at $1. I think now it's at, $2.50, $3 or so. But we found these opportunities within the AVAX ecosystem. And I believe, once again, Wonderland or Time is another one. Okay. I think last but not least, the final pick that I have is this one right here. Again, within the DAO space, right? Klima DAO is trying to build a reputation, trying to build a name for itself. I don't really know how successful it's going to be. I don't really know a lot about this one, but I've been seeing, articles float around. People talk about this being a underrated player, but obviously, do your due diligence. I don't have a position in this, by the way, so not recommending. I have no bias, but pay attention to it. Okay, do your research. Try to figure out why is it that these DAOs are coming up. Okay, don't just take my word for it. All right, so these are my top tier picks, and the final one, which is DYDX. Obviously, you guys know very well. DYDX launched a couple of weeks ago. I'm very bullish on DYDX simply due to the fact that there are some very, very smart investors who are aligned with DYDX, and they believe that this DEX derivative space is going to be really successful because more and more people are going to want to use things like their wallets, like MetaMask, Coinbase wallets, maybe even the Solana wallets, to be able to directly just trade on these DEXs. And I think DYDX does that very, very successfully with a very clean looking platform and order book, everything, almost lined up perfectly for a emergence of this DEX space to be successful. So pay attention to DYDX. All right. So we've talked about DeFi season 2.0. We've talked about Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance. We've talked about the DAOs. We've talked about the 5K account. All right. So all these things should right now compel you to do some research in the market. Also recognize that, as Bitcoin dominance is rising, Bitcoin prices are rising, you want to be careful in alts. Okay. You do not want to be in levered position in altcoins. It is going to be very dangerous. I will say there's one exception to this rule, which is probably Ethereum, because it very, very much moves with BTC. And also, Ethereum, yes, it's an altcoin, but it is really not as, an altcoin like any other, right? It is in a tier of its own. Okay. So, with that in mind, make sure you pay attention to Ethereum as a potential long position in the market as well. Because, the worst thing that you may face is if dominance rises and Bitcoin prices rise, right? Altcoins may move sideways, may move slightly up. But guess what? Another way dominance rises is it can go up, price of BTC may come down, and then altcoins get absolutely demolished. Like they drop at a higher percentage than BTC. Okay, so this situation is the worst for altcoins because dominance keeps rising. Bitcoin prices, crash. Like I said, I still believe there's a pullback towards 50 to 51K. And then you just see absolutely just crushing blows to your altcoins on the way down. Now I'm talking about negative 20, 30% drops within the span of, 1 to 2 days. And it sucks. And sometimes a lot of people can't stomach that pain and then they just sell at the bottom. Well, I believe in situations like this, if you have good altcoins, right? If you have some free cash on the side, prepare to buy them on the way down. Because even if BTC comes to 50 or 51K and altcoins drop significantly, that's an incredible buying opportunity, not only for BTC, but for key altcoins, like really good altcoins, not some, random garbage. All right. So make sure you do your research. Don't just panic yourself out of the positions. Just because the market is going down doesn't mean it's going to go down forever, right? All pain subsides to the upside and to the downside. You just have to be patient. You have to size yourself up properly. And once again, we do all these things within our Advantage community, explain to people how sizing works, how you can place stops and protect your capital, how to maximize your returns to the upside. Obviously not financial advice, but anyway, I hope y'all join. It is a fantastic community. We've been doing this for about 4.5 years. I think we know what we're doing. Our members love us, and I think we're doing a pretty damn good job. All right, y'all take care. Good luck, everybody in the market. Prepare for DeFi season 2.0. Hope y'all join our 5K challenge account right here and watch and see how we kick ass in this account. Until then, take care, everybody. Good luck to you, and we'll talk soon.